we've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
I have with me David Patman. He is a progressive host and executive producer of the nationally syndicated radio and TV program, The David Patman Show. And I wanted to talk to David Patman. He is a beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. David Patman, he is a beta male. Some beta male.
Can you remind the audience, when you talk about being a beta male and being an alpha male, what are we talking about here?
There are males, most men today.
Yeah.
Male. They think and act like a woman. They're emotional. They are mentally off. They have no logic. And that's a beta male. They go along with homosexuality.
Hold on, whoa, Jesse, we gotta, that's a lot.
LGBTQ.
That's a lot, hold on.
They agree with everything that's raw. Abortion, they think and act just like a woman. A beta male does. But another beta male doesn't, because he's a logical thinking. And they're controlled by the darkness of David Patman. He is a beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. David Patman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David, you're not here to communicate. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to let you go. It's a waste of time to talk to you. We're not communicating. You're acting like an idiot.
Because you're asking bizarre questions.
You're
and not
acting like an
any.
idiot, and you're wasting my time. I appreciate you coming. All right, thank you for coming.
So you
Goodbye. Goodbye. Let him know. That's a progressive vote. All men who are progressive, or males who are progressive, are weak.
Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Pac-Man. If I was telling my children who not to be, it's Pac-Man. Man's a loser. Smarter than you. He's better than you. He's gonna beat you.
The evil's growing. It's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door and prepare to meet your destiny.
Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
Uh-oh. Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes.
Uh-oh.
I love mangoes too.
9 cents. Okay. Now that we are up under a Biden's regime, my bag of mangoes now costs $11.99.
That seems like a pretty good deal. A bag of mangoes? Aren't mangoes like $3 each? That's it. I want what, $8 or $11. That sounds good.
The American people will lie. And highway robbery is what you're doing. Bring my mangoes back down. My bag of mangoes. My bag of mangoes.
Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes. Bring my mangoes back down. Raise the price of food. Don't raise the price of food. Don't raise the price of food. Bring my mangoes back down.
The Wisconsin crowd identified with the mangoes.
Unfortunately affected the American people. Those who want me to be healthy. Those who want me to be healthy. It's highway robbery is what you're doing. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit.
Mangoes?
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements in bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements in bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements in bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements in bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged. With documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet. Is this the explanation? Is this the explanation?
Big massive dumps.
Elements in bathrooms.
10 times, 15
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
Elements in bathrooms.
and showers. Big massive dumps.
Elements in bathrooms.
Duty. 10 times, 15 times. Not me,
Elements in bathrooms.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Elements in bathrooms.
Well, welcome everybody. It's my incredible pleasure, a unique pleasure. And I'm actually saying that seriously. I said it to Michael Knowles when I was on his show. I said it's such a pleasure to be here. And that wasn't true. Here it actually is a pleasure to be with all of you again. I am on Troth Central and I am live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And I actually, if usually there's really not much to be optimistic about. Oh, am I muted again? This is muted? Oh, damn. Hold on. Weird. Oh, we're live. Almost always the worst moment of any week would be a Trump rally. But yesterday was so uniquely sickening at the National Rifle Association rally, where Trump mispronounced the names of the victims from Uvalde, Texas, and it was a literal gong show. They rang a gong between each of the names that Trump read, and then Trump danced after the speech. Yesterday was so uniquely sickening. It was pond scum yesterday. I can't think of any lower moment in recent American politics than yesterday. That today might actually be less overtly disgusting than yesterday. Now, I'm still open to the idea that Trump will find some way to make today even worse. Like, for example, Lauren Boebert is in the crowd. That's pretty sickening. They might still find some way, but it's likely to be another vomitous evening. And that's a very, very sad and disgusting thing. But we're going to be looking at everything. So I'm glad that you are joining me. It appears as though Trump is on time today. Yesterday, he was quite literally 2.5 hours late. It's,
Obama.
Yeah.
We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
JD Mandel. There's sort of like a little upspeak there. JD Mandel. That adds to how crazy that is. Trump has already landed in Casper, Wyoming. So it's at least within the realm of possibility that this event will be on time today. Zach says via Super Chat, get Vincent Racaniello back on. He had a very interesting point about why he thinks we need to move on from mask mandates and focus on vaccines and ventilation. Very insightful. Yeah, he already. We've moved. We've moved on from mask mandates. I'm glad to have him back on, but it seems that people have indeed moved on. Okay, let's get to a couple of different things. One thing is I did a segment on this on yesterday's podcast. Not everybody has the podcast. It's free. I mean, everybody should have it, but not everybody does. And it's not like it's the the bonus show or anything that Alex Jones dislikes.
Pac-Man's a loser.
But we've been increasingly talking about this guy Herschel Walker. And there's a very kind of complicated discussion. Herschel Walker is the Georgia Senate candidate, former football player, and he's completely incoherent every time he's interviewed. He literally cannot put together a coherent thought. And there's a lot of different kind of, I don't want to say sensitive groups. Let me think about the right way to say it. There's a lot of different speculation about why Herschel Walker is so incoherent. And someone is taking offense to every single explanation, but I actually think that there's a bigger issue. Okay, so let me play these clips for you. This first clip is after we learned about the Uvalde, Texas shooting. CNN's Manu Raju asked Herschel Walker whether there should be new gun laws, and his response was completely incoherent. Okay, listen to this.
Hey, Manu Raju with CNN. I know. Can I ask you, do you support any new gun laws in the wake of this Texas shooting?
Do what now?
Do you support the new gun laws in the wake of this Texas shooting?
What I like to do is see it and everything and stuff. I like to see it,
Okay, so he was asked, what about new gun laws? And he said, I like to see it and everything and stuff. And I don't have subtitles, unfortunately. He then the next day appeared on Fox News, and he was again asked about what might you do about school shootings. And he says he wants a department that can look at young men looking at women, looking at social media.
See, that is a person wielding that weapon. Cain killed Abel, and that's the problem that we have. And I said, what we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. He talked about doing a disinformation. What about getting a department that can look at young men, that's looking at women, that's looking at just social media?
Right. His idea is make a department, maybe even an apartment, that can look at young men looking at women, looking at social media. Okay? So some people are saying this is mental illness. And it is true that it's been widely reported that Herschel Walker has dissociative identity disorder, multiple personalities, horrible accusations about things he has allegedly done to his ex-wife or wife or whatever, that it's specifically mental illness. But the truth is, most mentally ill people don't have ideas like this, and it seems wrong to say Herschel Walker is just mentally ill. Then the issue of brain injury is coming up. I mean, to some degree, it sounds like he has a brain injury. He played football. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, often known as CTE, is being suggested. But our friend Arian Foster, the great former NFL running back, said, listen, I'm paraphrasing his perspective, but he's been in the league and around football players long enough, and there's lots of brain injuries. But most people with football brain injuries aren't this unhinged when it comes to politics. And that's kind of a cop-out as well. And it's sort of offensive to just say this is merely a brain injury. I don't pretend to know what it is. But what is increasingly shocking to me is that something is that he can barely think, okay? And he won his primary. Okay, Republicans said, this is the guy we want to send to the Senate, or at least to the general election in November. So, I don't know. I obviously, you all know, I don't want to offend anyone. Mental illness, chronic trauma, CTE, brain injury. I don't know. He also has terrible political ideas, and I think he's had those for a very long time. I don't know what one thing we blame, but this guy can barely put together a coherent sentence. I don't know. And he's in over his head, obviously in over his head. All right. So that's my thought on the Herschel Walker thing. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone. Most mentally ill people don't say things like this. Most people with brain injuries don't say such crazy political things either. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's bad. It's bad. And so of all the choices, that's who Republicans said, send that guy to represent us. Let's talk a little bit about what happened yesterday. Oh, everybody come on in. I see all these people joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody's welcome here. Thanks to Superfluification, I hope I pronounced that correctly, with the $19.99 super chat. Dino says, sir, it appears even analog machines are implicated in Mike Pillow's lawsuit against all machines.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
My grandfather clock is currently in a deposition with Mike Pillow's attorney. This is a really sad story. When Mike Pillow announced the lawsuit against all machines, I assumed that non-electronic machines would be exempt. I have a friend who's super into making his own corn tortillas, and he has a special supplier of what's called nixtamalized corn. And this is like one of these presses. It's almost like a vise. It's table mounted. It's completely manual. I mean, it's made of heavy metal, and it kind of has a crank where you compress your nixtamalized corn and make your own tortillas. Even that machine is now under threat of defamation suit from Mike Pillow. So no machine, even the simplest, antiquated, completely manual machines that require no electricity, no gasoline, even those are under threat.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, let's look at a couple of other things. Earlier today, I sent the following tweet. Now, one of the things I've learned is that there is nothing you can tweet about that someone won't have a problem with. I could say, hey, you know what? Nutrition is good. And somebody would go, David, how dare you? Are you saying that everyone should have 4,000 calories a day? Just eating is good no matter what? Like, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Nutrition's good. It seems like it's kind of something you need. I don't know. There's nothing you can say on social media that somebody won't have a problem with. And a lot of people had a problem with this. But that being said, I'm going to read it to you. I said, when Trump read the names of the Uvalde victims at his rally yesterday, it was sort of like when Mormons baptize non-Mormons who have died against their will, forcibly pulling them into his cult posthumously. And it was fascinating to see a former Mormon actually reply and say, I was able to be the one performing the baptisms and reading the names. I tried to be as faithful to the pronunciations I assumed they were. Yeah, so a lot of people saying that's a pretty good analogy, actually. Some people said it was terrible. But as a reminder, here's what that was. Here was Trump yesterday reading the names of the shooting victims, and they rang, they're calling it a bell. Oh, hold on a second. There's someone who's just spamming David Hackman over and over again in the chat. You're just banned. I don't care. You're gone. I just don't even have time for it. Yeah, there were people, JoyKit on Twitch says they thought that it was my soundboard where I was adding the gongs. No, 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 no. This is what they did yesterday.
Of silence as I read the names of these beautiful people, all young, wonderful lives ahead of them. They're brave teachers whose lives were destroyed by an out of control lunatic.
Now, you've got to know going in, any plan that's based on Trump reading names off of a piece of paper is very risky.
So we'll start. Alexandria Rubio. Aletha Ramirez. Amory Garza. Annabelle Guadalupe Rodriguez. Eliana Cruz Torres. Ellie Garcia. Jacqueline Cazares. Jayla Nicole Silguro. Swami Vive Kamunand. Jace Lovarnos. Suchin Tendolkar. Jose Flores. Duvirot Kohli. Leila Salazar.
Okay, so I admit I added 3 of Trump mispronouncing Indian names. That's from when he went to India during his presidency, but it's essentially just as bad.
McKenna Lee Elrod. Maitai Rodriguez.
Okay, I think you guys get the picture. I think we can stop with that. And if you were to not find this to be completely sickening and you found it genuine in some way, Trump finished the event by dancing. Okay? So this solemn, terrible event, Trump danced. See that? Oh, wait, people are saying the last name was a good... Okay, let's continue then.
Miranda
I don't remember which names he screwed up the most.
Nevaeh Bravo. Rogelio Torres. Tess Marie Mata. Ozia Garcia.
I can think of no way to turn this tragedy into more of a joke than to have Trump mispronounce the names with a gong after each name. Like you could, if you said to me, how can we most do a disservice to the victims of this? It would be talk about everything other than guns as a cause, and then hand Trump a piece of paper to have him mispronounce the names and ring a gong after each name. It would be this.
Javier Lopez. 2 great and beautiful, brilliant teachers. Eva Morales. Irma Garcia.
Oh yeah, then the whole the gong was mistimed then.
Yeah. And thank you very much.
Okay. And then moments later, Trump was dancing. So after the very, very solemn moment, yeah, it's completely nuts. One other moment here, Trump seems to not really, remember when Trump said he thinks you need a photo ID to buy cereal at a grocery store? Oh yeah, there's a lot of light. Hold on, let me see what I can do about that. We're having a bit of an issue. Yeah, well, we'll deal with that in a bit. Anyway, Trump seems to not understand how anything works.
So important. In addition, classroom doors should be hardened to make them lockable from the inside and closed to intruders.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't classroom doors already lock from the inside, or is that a thing where you're not? I mean, I don't even know. Hold on, let me see if I can deal with the light. So this would be my left light. We're at 60. Let's see if I can bring it down to 40. Oh, I almost don't even need it. Yeah, okay. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'll keep it at 60, but just turn it off for now. There we go. That's much better. That's much better. Anyway, I thought school doors already locked from the inside. I don't know. I mean, it's all very, very strange. So that was that. As we are standing by here, you can't lock them due to being an exit for a fire. No, but what I'm saying is, you guys, I'm not a locksmith, but there's these locks where you just push the little lock thing. So from the inside, either way, you're just turning the knob down and it opens. It's locked from the inside, so you can't open it from the outside. I don't understand how that would be. Anyway, he seems to have no idea how anything works. Chandler Davis says, will Donald Trump speak about Ulysses again? Probably. David, it blows my mind after 2+ years of bashing teachers that Republican members have the gall to suggest they should carry guns. Masks traumatize children, but Terminator teachers won't. How do these people sleep at night? Yeah, no, I've said this before. They've spent 2 years saying, hey, teachers are critical race theory teaching incompetent indoctrinators who shouldn't be trusted with anything. But we should give them all guns and put them in charge of security, right? Like, but you said these were the incompetent people. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense. You're absolutely correct. I don't know if you've seen, but Trump is charging $15,000 for a photo op at this rally. It's in my hometown. I pray none of the people I know get swindled. Yes, let us pray for them. Okay, let me say thank you to a few people who have just popped in. First, let me thank everybody who has grabbed the Twitch Prime subscription today. That includes Life is Good and Polo Dal, Mazik and Spycatcher, Jen here and Dustin D, Colors ATK and Irie Man. That puts us at 8. Also, some beautiful people. Oh, hold on a second. Some beautiful people have signed up on my website as well. I want to say thank you to Marissa Pepper, Julie Wrightrot, Philip Casanati, and Leslie Arnold for signing up on my website, joinpacman.com. That puts us at 12. And then also a big thank you to Ryan Gunter, who just gifted a membership on my website, number 13. We'll give that away at the conclusion of today's stream. All right, let's look at a couple of other things. People asking if I'm still posting on Troth Central. I am still posting on Troth Central. I am D. Pacman on Troth Central. I basically just repost my tweets here for now and just see if anybody gets triggered by them. And sometimes they do. Let's just see. The funny thing is, it's mostly my existing followers who are following me on here. But let's see here. Yesterday, I posted, this Ted Cruz NRA speech is one of the most dangerous and unhinged speeches I've ever seen in the entire time I've been covering politics. Troth Central said, I have a feeling he'll be one-upped by the Mango Menace shortly. Then you haven't covered enough politics. Oh, yeah, there's some pretty serious right-wingers here. Man, Troth is crazy. Let me see if I have my glitches here. Where the hell is Troth? Here it is.
Troth Central.
Yeah. Anyway, it's completely toxic, but if you want to join me on Troth Central, I'm just D. Pacman on there. Not a big shock as far as that's concerned. Okay. Ali Prugar says, did you see my email about the soundboard? No, unfortunately, we get so many emails. I barely see any emails. It's sad. But I did get Trump's new phrase from yesterday, virtue cycling.
Virtue cycling.
Yeah, Trump meant virtue signaling, but said virtue cycling. Our friend Small Fuzzy Moss got me that. All right, let's look at some clips from outside the rally. From what I've been told, it's pretty aggressively weaponized. Here's Lauren Boebert wearing what seems like a parody-sized MAGA hat, says how Trump shared popcorn with her son.
I want to tell you a story about his generosity.
Uh-oh.
About how kind he is, about how welcoming he is. The things that these folks right
Where is her head? That's very strange.
here in the back never let anyone see. Fake media is the virus.
By the way, it's only right-wing media at these events.
My family and I were with President Trump. And even not liking germs, President Trump shared a bowl of popcorn with my 14-year-old son.
Wow.
Now listen, Wyoming. I know where he's been. I don't share food with my son. But President Trump welcomed him and engaged with him and showed him love and respect, just like I've seen him do with hundreds and thousands of other people all throughout America, because he's not a politician. He's a family man. He's a businessman, and he loves you. He loves America, and he will be back again.
Really wacky stuff, huh? Let's see what else we've got from the rally. Here she was interviewed and said she wants to arm teachers. Oh, man.
The left is completely politicizing the events in Uvalde.
Right, they're not politicizing.
Talk a little bit about the Second Amendment rights on stage. Just kind of recap that.
Sure. Well, the answer to Uvalde and what happened there is not to restrict law-abiding gun owners and what they can carry. I got into this because I challenged Beto O'Rourke, and I told him, hell no, you're not going to take our guns.
Right.
And now here he is again trying to get politically famous on the graves of children. And so we have solutions. We can secure our schools. We can make sure our children are safe. We can certify and arm our teachers. We can have armed security in the schools. But the response that we're hearing about in Uvalde is unacceptable.
I just realized how hilarious the framing of this is. She's like literally a foot lower than this guy.
Especially if it's true that shots were fired before the gunman entered the school. There was plenty of time to neutralize this threat. But this is why gun-free zones are deadly. They're proven to be deadly. And
I'm pretty sure this rally is a gun-free zone. Shocked that she'd be willing to be there. You know, that's pretty surprising. Seems pretty dangerous. Let's see what else we have. Oh, wait a second. Bernie threw a pitch. This I have to see. Whoa. That's a pretty good toss, I have to say. I like that. Bernie with a little spin on there. Was that the circle change? I might have to take back my commentary that Bernie shouldn't run. That was pretty serious, I have to tell you. Okay, let's see if there's anything else from the rally. Okay, that's old, actually. Yeah, we may not have that much more from the rally, which is probably a good thing, to be perfectly frank. We're keeping an eye on Trump scheduled to show up any minute now, about 20 minutes or so. Okay, very good. Well, we got that. Super chats are dumping in, which is crazy. And I'm going to read some of them here. Let's see what we've got. What do we have here? Okay. You can't handle the truth. No, certainly I can't. David, love your show. Wanted to say Sky News UK is actually a Center News network. Yeah, I've gotten about 200 emails about this. I mistakenly, I confused Sky News Australia with Sky News UK. And I apologize for that. I did make a mistake. I like the GOP like to use Chicago for pro-gun propaganda, but don't the northeastern states have strictest gun laws and least amount of gun deaths compared to other regions in the U.S.? I haven't looked at that data super recently, but yes, I believe that remains the case. I believe that remains the case. David, former teacher in our building, the doors could only lock from the outside to prevent teacher abuse of students. Oh, that's interesting. So which is it? Are teachers groomers or should the doors lock from the inside? Yeah, you've got to kind of decide. Yeah. Would you rather have dinner with Bo Bear or Marjorie Taylor Greene, and what food? I don't know. I guess I'd rather have dinner with Bo Bear or Taylor Greene. I guess Bo Bear. I don't even know why, quite frankly. So they lock the doors and shooters hit the playground at recess. Yes, that's also been brought up. Thank you, David, for putting your health and well-being on the line to cover this event. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Very, very powerful stuff. Let me say thank you to Jason Sickmeyer, Tommy Horswill, and Philip Casanati. They've each gifted a membership on my website, putting us at 16. We will gift those 3 memberships at the end of the stream. That'll be very, very important. Very, very important. Let's listen to a couple of voicemails. Yeah, lots of voicemails coming in right now.
Hi, David. Just wondering if we should be worried about lawsuits for any of our Archimedean simple machines, levers, pulleys, inclined planes.
Pulleys are done under Mike Pillow's lawsuit for sure. Okay, people calling in about Herschel Walker.
Yes, I'm just commenting on the Herschel Walker comments. If he's going to run for Senate, there should be some sort of minimum IQ test or some sort of cognitive test for senators. I mean, who cares if he's had brain injuries? I got hit by a car, shattered my helmet. I've had brain injuries. I got sent to a psych ward for some miscommunication. Somebody thought I was suicidal, and they petitioned me to go. I was not. But I had to stay there for 3 days, and most of the people in there are just talking about their meds and switching them around, and a lot of the nurses and doctors, they're just as crazy as anybody else. And if you take into consideration that we've had threat of nuclear war for over 50 years, of course, most people are kind of crazy. Most Americans are kind of crazy with the personalities. If you listen to Alan Watts or Ram Dass, it kind of delves into.
All right, well, that's getting pretty deep there. Okay, let's see what else I've got as far as voice. I actually don't have that much in terms of voicemails right now.
Hey, David. I'm literally watching an RSBN live stream right now. I don't know if you're doing anything today, but if you would love to enlighten us with your presence, I sure would enjoy it, because this looks like a train wreck, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so enjoyable to watch. I didn't know if you knew what was going on.
You know what we can actually do? Let's go back a little bit earlier into their stream and just listen.
Got that message he was coming. I got a motel. There was no way I was going to miss this. Not on earth I was going to miss this day.
What is it about President Trump that inspires you to come out here, be so energetic and positive, and wait, how many hours early are we right now? 6 hours early right now?
Yeah. There's only one thing I can say. America first. America first. He's the only person to put America first.
Did you know any of these people? Or do you come alone?
Yeah, I came with my family here.
We are.
And my other friends from Colorado.
Very cool.
Yeah, we had to come up here. We had to. These are new people I've never met before, and we become family all of a sudden. Like, literally, family.
Oh, I love Getter. She was saying she watched me on Getter. Some of y'all are probably watching RSBN stream live on Getter right now, so if you are, shout out to all of you. That's GETTR. Check them out. I want to talk to all you guys. Literally, I have like 2 hours to kill out here. So I think that
Dear God.
the purpose of being out here before the rally starts is to get to know who these people are, who the patriots are.
Did
the
she say
forgotten
she's out here before the rally starts?
people that the left and the media and celebrities, they all ignore. So kind of the people that keep this country running in
It's
the right
these people.
direction. So we'll start. Who's talkative? All of you. All right, we'll start here. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Sarah, and I'm from Casper, Wyoming.
Casper, Wyoming. So this is your turf.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Have you ever been to an event here
Quite a sociological experience here.
before at the Ford Event Center?
Yeah, I've been to multiple concerts here, the shows and events that they do here. It's a huge staple in the community, and it's so awesome to see Trump come here, and just makes us feel really special.
What's the inside venue like? What can people expect to see when they get in there later today?
Lots of stairs. The floor area is pretty big.
Uh-oh,
but,
that may not be good for some of the people I'm seeing walking around in the background. I hope they have elevators too.
There's a lot of seats going all the way around. It is relatively small, though, like compared to larger cities. Like
Oh, isn't that the best? This is a relatively small venue. You're not supposed to say that. You're not, never, ever say that.
Atlanta, Denver, things like that.
I read that you can fit 10,000 people in there. How many people do you think are going to show
10,000. Here we go.
up today for President Trump? You think it's going to be 10,000 or more?
Well, how could there be more? The max is 10.
Less?
I think there's already at least, 10, 20,000 people here. It's amazing. Like,
you could very well be right. I haven't moved very far back, but I can't see the end of the line yet. So
it's nuts, and it's serpentines, and it's like there are so many people here, and it's wonderful seeing all these people coming out to support Trump, support our country.
Now, who did you come with today?
I came with my dad, my mom, my grandma, my mom. And I've been here since 8 p.m. yesterday.
8 p.m. yesterday. Where did you sleep?
I didn't. Sat in my chair in line all night long.
I'm shocked. I just have to sleep so much all the time. I think something might be wrong with me.
Right.
But that's incredible. We met someone over there. These are the front row Joes. They go to every single rally.
We were talking to them all.
Why? They're wild. They got here Tuesday. One of them got here as early as Tuesday. So would you do it again so far?
All right. So that's these people. Let's see if they talk. Oh, hold on. At one point, looks like Pillow showed up. Look at this. Let's see. Let's listen to this.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Let's see.
Oh. You getting? I love it. Let him. Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
To call you.
Okay. My brother has my cell phone, and I can see like my phone vibrating, and I'm like, you guys. But I knew you were here because the crowd went wild. I said that's one of.
I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, it's just crazy.
I said that's one of two men. When I turn around, I'm either going to see Donald Trump behind me or Mike Lindell. It's Mike Lindell.
Machines, people.
So this is actually your quote. She made this shirt for
Right on. Absolutely. And where we're at, everybody, it's a good time to announce to the country right here on RSBN. And hopefully we're on Frank's speech, too. I know they've been trying to get a hold of everybody if you're out there.
Oh, Frank's speech, if you're watching, call James, okay? You have my brother's number. Call
What a mess, huh?
him, and he'll help you.
Yeah. But everybody, selection, you guys, selection code. This movie trailer is out today. The president's going to show it here at the rally. Our real president. Remember when I say that. It's
Oh, my God. These people are really sick.
our real president. Selectioncode.com. You all go there now. You need to share this trailer everywhere.
I didn't realize this. Casper, Wyoming is 5,100 feet of elevation. So Trump could be noticeably short of breath today. That would be interesting to see.
Important days that I believe ever coming up to save our country, July 16th and 17th. And you're all going to see that. Go to selectioncode.com. This movie shows it's the Tina Peters story, but it's also America's story about we know what's inside the machines. And it's over.
We opened them up and they were filled with almonds, and I just don't know why. Salted, roasted almonds. Just every single machine filled with it.
For them. That's ES&S, Dominion, Smart Mag. It's over. We have to terminate the machines, and we are going to do it. And it's amazing when you see this movie. We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines. And by the way, everybody, Tina Peters is on her way here. I just saw, we were talking with the president yesterday. She's going to be speaking from the stage. If you all know Tina Peters, do you all know Tina Peters?
I think she was recently arrested, right?
She's going to be here speaking from the main stage. She's a hero. She's a Gold Star mother. And her son, 5 years ago this day, died.
Ooh.
Okay, on this Memorial Weekend. And so she's going to be speaking. And this story that comes out of Colorado will actually, it's over a year now when she...
He's completely... I can't tell if he's out of breath or losing his train of thought or both.
Just got to watch the trailer. This movie's by Lara Logan.
Oh,
if you all know Lara Logan.
Lara Logan's out of her mind. Completely out of her mind.
Just amazing. I haven't seen the movie yet. It comes out, like I say, worldwide debut on July 16th, but you got to share the trailer. And I'm here today getting the word out there. We've got to, we're in this state here. Obviously, we've got to get rid of Liz Cheney, right? We got to get rid of Liz Cheney.
If there's anyone that knows about election fraud and people that have gone against President Trump. That's you. You've also been supporting him since day one. So what is Liz Cheney the reason you're here today as well? What does it mean to have someone like her in the Republican Party?
Well, what I've said, everybody, I've said.
All right. Well, that's what happened earlier. And so now we're back to live. David, do you think Mike Pillow's manufacturing equipment is included in his lawsuit? Oh yeah, I'm sure. The machines were full of tiny Oompa Loompas changing their votes. We are suing all Oompa Loompas.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Chris says, this sucks. I don't have my phone or computer because of Mike's lawsuit. Yeah, everybody's just losing machines left and right as a result of it. Let's look at the trailer for this movie he's talking about, Selection Code. I'm just curious. Let's just see what the deal is.
Into Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters' alleged voting machine security breaches continues.
If I asked you this question
Oh, God.
before the 2020 election, are these voting machines secure? I would have said yes. And after the election, I would have...
Lara Logan is a joke who's recently been repeating anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. She seems completely off the rails.
said yes. What changed?
Tina Peters admits she brought in a consultant to make a forensic copy of the Dominion voting system in Mesa County.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Voting machines in Georgia and Texas switch votes from one candidate to another.
Virtually every machine was broken into.
Ballot recording machines.
Voting machines.
Machine.
Did they say phallic recording machines?
Machines.
Voting machines.
Voting machines.
Machine. Machine.
Machine.
Machines, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
There is no serious person out there who would suggest somehow that you could even rig America's elections.
We've seen no evidence that any of our voting systems have been tampered with.
The November 3rd election was the most secure.
It was the most secure.
Most secure election in American history, period.
The process is...
Hey, so to the person who's just been sending literally 20 messages saying, David Pakman, you just got doxxed, if that really happened and you're actually concerned, the right thing to do would be to email us and let us know the information rather than putting 20 messages on Reddit. Okay, so like if you're being serious and that's true, then please just email info@davidpakman.com. But just pasting it again and again and again in the chat, come on, guys, okay? Please just email in if that's the case, okay? info@davidpakman.com with a link.
Very secretive.
These machines are built by private companies, which we don't have a right to know what goes on inside those.
What did you see during the software update?
We've uncovered something that they're afraid of.
We didn't consider the machines.
The information found there is the Rosetta Stone.
They made a mistake and left the evidence in the machine.
And you can hide it as well.
It's only what the programmer tells it to say.
It's literally like the difference between going from pickpocketing to credit card fraud.
All right. Well, as usual, a lot of claims being made without a lot of evidence being presented there. Man, that is just wild. Okay. Other super chats coming in. Oh my God, not even like 1 week ago, my sister and dad told me Mike Pillow's a good guy. I'm baffled by this BS. How do we reprogram this thought process? Thanks for all you do, David. Yeah, it's a real mystery. We need a general strike. Our votes aren't enough to motivate our lawmakers to actually work for us. I've talked about general strikes before. In fact, I have a number of different videos about that. Yeah, I listed it along with a number of other nonviolent protest techniques. And you can absolutely find more about that on my YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to Billy Carpenter, Oceanova, Cody the Epilepsy Dragon, Dirtnap, Stuckaduck, and Chicken Marsala for the Twitch subscriptions, putting us at 22. I also want to say thanks to Fabio Borzada, who just signed up on my website, joinpakman.com, number 23 today. And also a big thank you to Wesley Taylor for gifting 3 memberships at joinpakman.com. We'll give those away. That puts us at 26. We are going to be hearing from Donald Trump momentarily. We've had bad thunderstorms all day. I think they started in Jersey and then came up into New York. We had some flicker earlier. I hope that we don't have any power issues or internet issues during the remainder of the stream. I would absolutely love for you to sign up at joinpacman.com today. We have a fantastic membership discount code. That code is SADTRUMP. You can type it in, and then it's shocking what it will do to these memberships, okay? If you prefer, you can also use the code OBAMNA. Okay, that's also fantastic. Our number one funding source is actually those memberships, and I will thank every single person who gets a membership. We do a lot of different things for our members, including providing a priority call-in feed when we do our town halls. The show's available to you every day, commercial-free, 6 hours before anybody else gets it. Lots of great things, including the world-famous bonus show, which Alex Jones hates, okay? If Alex Jones hates something, it at least makes me wonder, is that something we should look at very strongly? Okay? Let me put it that way. Let's see what else. What else do we have here? Tim Pool posted your contact info. I'll email it to you. I wanted to get your attention. Where did Tim Pool do that? That would be a really strange thing for Tim Pool to do. Anybody know if that's true? Tim Pool posted my contact info on Reddit. I mean, listen, Tim Pool's done a lot of stuff, but that's a little hard to believe that he would do. If someone can email me whatever the Tim Pool thing is, that would be really great. Okay. What else do we have going on here? David, sir, was the election stolen by the machines or the mules? Yeah, it's hard to tell at this point. Could have really been either, quite frankly. Thank you to Jason Sickmeyer, as well as Wesley Taylor, for gifting 2 more memberships, numbers 27 and 28. Very much appreciate that. We'll give those away a little bit later. Voicemail. Yeah, I've got a couple other voicemails. Let's listen to what we've got.
Hi, David. I was curious about what they really want to do with the whole door thing, because it doesn't really seem just like an applicable idea. But what I was thinking was maybe build like hallway doors the same way they have floodgates, so that possibly if there's an active shooter roaming the halls, they can actually maybe have some sort of gate that traps the shooter in the hallway or traps the shooter out of the hallway, for instance.
Okay.
So I would like to know your thoughts on that. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not against anything at its face. Like, I'll think about whatever, like arming teachers. Okay, I thought about it. Doesn't make any sense. But there also has to be some element of dealing with the guns. I mean, I just, if you're not dealing with the guns, I don't know what you're doing. So we kind of need an all of the above approach is the way I would put it. 18-year-olds should not be able to buy high capacity weapons. Absolutely. Absolutely. All of those things are completely true. Okay. Other voicemails. Let's see.
David, thank you for giving us 2 days of awesome streams. We need an uncharged pickles for this occasion.
I don't think I have it anymore on my soundboard. Another voicemail.
Hey, David, Casey from Oklahoma City. About Walker in Georgia, I think he was not subject to any debates with other candidates. And so I think that's a strategy against Warnock, where the Republican Party is just not going to debate. So they were not going to hear what he has to say against the Democratic candidate. And that's how they're going to elect him. They're just going to vote down ballot, and he's going to get elected. And it doesn't matter because he's not going to be debated.
I think we have to wait and see what exactly happens there. What's happening at this rally, by the way?
As a general on November 8th. So the turnaround time on some of this is pretty short, but that's what's going on in Pennsylvania. And of course, Doug Mastriano
Wow. What a bizarre event that's going on. Very strange. Very, very strange stuff happening there. Let me say thank you to Elodie Taggiomonte, as well as Leonardo Cozzone and Occam's Taser, all three of whom just grabbed memberships on my website, numbers 29, 30, and 31. I really appreciate that. Also, thanks to Too Fat Matt, Manger Poutine, Tecolote, and Billy Carpenter for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 35. Appreciate that as well. Let's continue hearing from people via voicemail for a little bit, expecting Trump any moment here.
Hi, David. This is Rebecca from Texas. I am calling in regard to the Uvalde shooting. I have worked in Child Protective Services for Texas. I only worked for Texas for about 2 years and in CPS as an investigator for 1 year. And the things that I saw, I had to leave. I had to take months off for my mental health after seeing what I saw. Honestly, I feel like the system failed all of those children, and including the perpetrator. He was a child only 2 weeks ago. Even in the state of Texas, if he would have been removed from his home, we would have had him in placement or in custody for those 2 weeks. He was a child. And I just feel like the system failed him on so many levels. And I wanted to ask you, I know this is a big problem, but I truly feel like if social services was given the funding that it needs to help the community, then we maybe could have avoided this child.
Yeah, I mean, that's a general statement. That's true. I outlined 10 specific things I would do as far as gun laws go, and several of them deal with community involvement and so-called mental health that would have specifically impacted, at least potentially impacted, this particular shooter being able to get the guns that he did. So no shortage of ideas as far as that goes. Absolutely. Okay. I want to say thanks to Laszlo Zakovitz for signing up today at joinpacman.com. Laszlo is today's newest member on my website, number 36. Very, very much appreciate that. Mike Pillow, as you can see, is now in the crowd taking pictures with people, and just a lot of really, really wild stuff going on there, as you can see. Let's see what else we have here as far as voicemails go.
Hi, David. Just curious here, like millions of us are wondering, where was the Uvalde school resource officer? Why was he not on campus? I've only heard one report, and that he was somewhere off sleeping in his car.
Yeah, I actually did not hear the sleeping in the car thing. I heard off campus or away from the school. I just don't know that we definitively know right now. I mean, if there's a definitive thing about it, then by all means, I want to hear about it. But I just am not. I don't know that we've definitively heard, and so I want to be careful about. I don't know. I just am not sure. Alex says, David, my Chipotle chili peppers leaves are turning black. Is that bad or is that natural? I have no idea. I have never grown Chipotle chili peppers, so I quite frankly could not tell you. Anybody in the chat know? Chipotle chili pepper, should the leaves be black? Very hard for me to say. Here is a caller from country code 57. Let's see, 57 country code. Let's see what that is. Colombia, okay.
Hi, David. I'm fairly new to your show, but I find it most interesting. And I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think for a change, I agree with the right. This is not a gun problem. This is a psychological problem. So anyone who wishes to purchase a gun should have to have a psychological evaluation done no more than 30 days before the purchase.
Okay. Yes, that's an idea. It's a reasonable idea for sure. There are people emailing me saying, David, I would like a free membership. You don't get one by emailing. If you want a free membership, just go to davidpakman.com/free membership. That's the only place where you can request a free membership. Any other place, it's going nowhere. You have to sign up. It's obviously free to request a free membership. davidpakman.com/free membership. Okay, that's what it's got to be. Let's see what else we have here. Couple other voicemails.
Dave, you know I love you, right? There was an NRA convention in Texas, and there was also another well-publicized situation that happened in Texas. So the NRA, the National Rifle Association, you know, the Association for Firearms, Tobacco, Explosives, Alcohol, you know, to counter the ATF, they banned firearms from the firearm convention.
Yeah, I mean, technically they just banned it from Trump's speech specifically, is my understanding. But obviously the point is the same one, which is if there's no safer place than the place with the most guns, it would follow that the way to keep Trump the safest would be to have him in a room with tons of guns. I don't know what the ATF stuff is about, but it's not news, and a lot's going on there. A lot's going on there for sure. I want to say thanks to Gary Warner. Gary Warner just signed up at joinpakman.com and is new member number 37. Also want to say thank you to Micha Lepay, who is new member number 38 today. Feel free to sign up on my website, joinpakman.com. You can use the coupon code SADTRUMP if you like. You can use the coupon code OBAMNA if you prefer. It's really up to you. You can use no coupon code at all. I don't mind one way or the other. It's completely up to you. Other super chats coming in? No. Okay, fair enough. No super chats there. We'll do a couple. Oh, hold on. I'm being told that there's some new videos from the rally. Let's see if that's the case. Lauren Boebert calls the primary challenge a distraction. Let's see.
But I'm also in a primary, and I'm a professional rhino hunter, so I think I'll get this one just fine. Yeah. But, you know, these are distractions that are in the way of...
The primary is a distraction. She wants to claw back COVID funds that were sent to schools.
This nation, why can't we spend $1 billion and increase the infrastructure of our schools?
Well, we sent $190 billion to our schools in the name of COVID, and there's still unspent funding.
And I want that money back, by the way. The president talked about it last night at the NRA convention.
Yes.
He wants that money back.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
He wants the money back. Trump's not even president. What on earth could Trump possibly do about that money? It doesn't make any sense. Just makes no sense whatsoever. Okay. New voicemail.
Tell me this, sir. Ted Cruz would rather implement people control than gun control. Doors, armed guards at doors, single points of entry. These people would rather restrict our movement than guns. Messed up.
They would rather do anything other than deal with guns. It's not just they would rather restrict movement. They would rather do anything other than actually deal with guns in any kind of real way. Thank you to Joseph Pierce, who just gifted a membership and is new member number 39 today. We'll give that membership away later on. We've been emailing people with the free memberships, and I think we've given away, I think it's over 350 at this point, to be perfectly frank. Oh, and Wesley Taylor also gifting one more. That's number 40 today. Appreciate that very, very much, Wesley. And lastly, thanks to PC Hippie for the Twitch Prime subscription. Donald Trump scheduled 4 minutes ago, arrived by plane reportedly an hour ago. So that should not at least be a reason for any kind of holdup today. but it's anyone's guess when he will actually come out. Let's listen and see what's going on here.
Just as Mike Lindell said earlier, I just don't know if I can trust anything coming out of that state. I mean, is it possible?
What I can trust
is it possible to win there?
Certainly questionable. Regardless, the only way to guarantee that you lose is to not vote.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
with that being said, continue to get out and vote.
Yeah.
But it's okay to have your concerns as we continue to navigate through these murky waters.
Yeah. In one conversation I had on the plane, this lady was from California, and she asked me who she thought the nominee would be for the Democratic Party in 2024.
Oh.
And she said, do you think Joe Biden's going to run again? And I was like, well, that's a big hell no on that. He's not going to do it.
Clinton.
Neither will Kamala. I've said this over and over again, Liz, and I could be wrong, and maybe I really think Gavin Newsom is going to be your nominee for 2024.
He can barely remain governor in California.
Well, he's not a very liked person in California, but that doesn't matter if he's liked. He comes from a big state in California, a very progressive state. He's got the ties that Pelosi. He's got all the deep, dark.
He's evil.
But he's got the establishment Democrats in there. I don't know. Young. Could you say charismatic? He's not. He's not charismatic.
He looks like an evil villain in a movie. Yeah. Like the guy in Spider-Man that owns the billionaire that owns all the...
But I don't know who else the Democrats have that they could push forward. I mean, for the love of God, Kamala Harris didn't even get 2% of the vote from the Democratic Party when she was running for president. So, and I think for the most part, they selected her as it did. Let's just check the box. It was a box thing.
She seems really mean.
I've heard Pete Buttigieg. Just because we want to have the first openly gay mayor, or Mayor Pete would be the first openly gay president. But that's what the Democrats do, though, Liz. They just want to check boxes off.
Yeah, no.
It's identity politics at its finest. Yeah. It doesn't matter if the person has
You know what's funny? They have a very specific brand of identity politics they do, but they never they just don't call it that. They have a neo-reactionary identity politics, which I've talked about before, but they just go, oh, identity politics is bad. Well, you guys do it too.
Don't need anything else.
No. If you just, you know what? Maybe we should all just, I'm not even going to say that our chat will go crazy, but you can identify with whatever you want to identify.
If I identified male, I'm more likely to get the job.
Yeah. All right, you're just now joining us. We're live here in Casper, Wyoming, at the Wyoming Center, waiting for President Donald J. Trump to take the stage. Really, any minute now. I mean, we're past the T-minus 6 minutes over the walkout time.
President Trump is scheduled.
Now, if we're in the game of soccer, are we in the bonus time right now? Is it called bonus time if you're watching soccer and it goes past the time? So now we're in bonus time right now. We're plus.
They call it stoppage time. I guess soccer is not exactly their area of expertise, I think we can say. Okay, super chats are dumping in. Let's listen. I'm sorry, voicemails.
Hi, David. Tina here. So I've always wanted to ask you, so since Trump's base is supposed to not be the majority of Republican constituents, why do you feel like Republican politicians like senators, governors, why do you feel like they just can't explain to their constituents, why Trump is bad, why his policies are bad, and explain to them like this is not the person that we should be following. He's not a leader.
It's like it's such an obviously logical thing what the caller is saying. These are not people you can talk to in that way. It's just it's not it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's sad. I wish it were different.
Hey, Dave, I'm from Oklahoma. We have gun shows like once a month, if not more often, where anybody can just walk in, walk out with a gun.
Yep.
I was just wondering, has there ever been like a shooting at one of those places? Like I can't imagine one person firing off a shot and everybody there's got guns. They turn around and everybody's got guns, start shooting each other. I just wondered if you had any thought on that.
I mean, it's an empirical question. Have there been shootings at gun shows? I don't know. I've never looked it up. I mean, it would be interesting to look at. I don't know. I will investigate it. Sounds like an interesting question.
David, rumor has it, this is breaking news. This came from Mike Pillow, that this crowd is bigger than Woodstock. They're looking at 500,000 people, just seas of people.
Oh, this looks like a 1 million person crowd to me. This actually seems like the real Million MAGA March. I've never seen a crowd like this. I don't know about you guys. Guy with the hair says the right claims the left is trying to take away their guns while simultaneously trying to take away our fundamental right to our machines.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Yeah. All right. I have a bunch of memberships to give away. Joseph Pierce, Wesley Taylor, Kyoko Awaya has gifted 2, and Wesley Taylor another one. That's 5 more gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I think we might be getting close to 400 memberships total gifted. Really appreciate that. Also want to say thanks to David Wharton, who just signed up at joinpacman.com and is new member number 47 today. Also over on Twitch, thanks to Uncle, let's just say Uncle, just to keep it to keep it PG-13. Thanks to Uncle, new member number 48 today. Very much appreciate that.
Hey, David, I was calling all that to let you know this gun control thing and all that, where, you know, putting doors up and all this other crap and all that is a bunch of crap. That's just it. The only thing and all that you can do and all that to stop this gun violence is to start putting legislation down for guns.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at Ted Cruz and you look at his campaign, he is the highest paid congressman in.
Well, Ted Cruz is a senator, and I thought it was Mitt Romney who actually had received the most donations from the NRA, but the specific numbers don't even really matter. I mean, I think the point is a good point there. Other super chats coming in. Candace Owens, Tim Scott, Herschel Walker always mention they're black conservatives Republicans, that they are black conservatives Republicans, but apparently that's not identity politics. Fair. Trump, I am will to answer any logical question you have as a Trump supporter if you really want to know why we support him, if you truly want to know. Sure. Well, I mean, listen, here's just like a basic question about Trump. Trump says, okay, here's my question to this user. Trump promised to build a wall across the entire U.S.-Mexico border in his first term. He didn't do it, and he fraudulently claims it was 3 weeks away from being done. Are you willing to say that that is completely untrue? That he added a few miles and that it is completely untrue that he was 3 weeks away from finishing the wall? I would love to hear that. Just admit that that's a total lie. Tell me you still like him. And that Mexico would pay for it. They paid for nothing. I would love to hear a super chat from you just saying, hey, you know what? That wasn't true. That didn't happen. Trump didn't do it. Failed promise. LAPD didn't wait for backup to take on 2 heavily armored men when all the had was just handguns. Okay, I'm not going to click on that right now. That sounds a little risky. Here's $5 for your espresso machine's legal defense fund. Keep up the good work and retain counsel. Yeah, I'm actually getting Johnny Depp's attorney, Ben Chu, is going to be representing my espresso machine. And then the other attorney, Camille Vasquez, is going to be representing my milk frother. So I've got a pretty all-star team there. Today's rally prediction, the greatest hits with a sprinkle of more disrespect to gun violence victims. Yeah, more or less. More or less what I'm expecting. Roughly, right? I mean, hard to say exactly, but that's roughly what I'm expecting. Thank you so much to Brent Beitel for gifting a membership at joinpacman.com. Also, thank you to Anna Evans and Demelza Pasco, who just got themselves memberships, putting us at 51. It doesn't take long. No, it really doesn't take long to sign up. You go to joinpacman.com, okay? You pick monthly or yearly. Yearly is a better deal, but monthly is just humiliatingly inexpensive. But, you know, whichever one you pick, you type in your coupon code. You know, the coupon code could be OBAMNA. OBAMNA. That's one coupon code. Or you could use SAD Trump. That's another coupon code. Oh, that one's even better. I think we actually have an old coupon code Cucked no more. Let me see. Oh, it's invalid. Oh, I could have sworn that was a coupon code, at least at one point. Guess that one's done. That's sad, actually. I kind of like that coupon code. That was a good one. There's been a handful of shootings at gun shows. Even a child killed himself in Massachusetts a few years ago in accident. That's horrifying. That's absolutely horrifying, if true. I have not independently confirmed that. Few other bonus. Oh, here's the Eggman calling in about Herschel Walker.
Hey, Dave. Herschel Walker is completely nuts, absolutely insane, has no business in government politics at all. But he will win because of one thing, name recognition. That's it. And that should also teach us, show us who votes. The people that recognize Herschel Walker and want that name in government are old white men that watched football in the 70s and 80s. That's it.
You know, it's so funny what the Eggman says about just like old white dudes liking football players. There are a bunch of different legal conferences that I've gone to, and often the guest speakers are retired football players. And I've asked, like, what's the connection? Is it that, skills that are relevant on the football field are relevant to lawyer stuff? And the organizers go, these old white lawyers just love football players. They just love it. They just love it. That's all it is. So that's pretty that's pretty interesting, I have to say. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Okay, so here's a Trump supporter. I asked, can you just admit that Trump failed on the wall? Absolutely. He was challenged from the Democrats and opposed from them. He was opposed from the same party that while Obama in office wanted a wall. That's a cop-out. That's a total cop-out. But okay, I mean, at least you're saying the wall wasn't built. That's something. Okay, Eggman with one more voicemail.
Hey, Dave, I tried to wait a little bit to ask you this, so it wasn't so sensitive. Did you watch the TV show Chips when you were a kid? Because when discussing the Texas shooting and the Texas Ranger guy named Eric Estrada, when you mentioned his name, Officer Eric Estrada, you hesitated for 1 second.
I did.
Which to me shows me that you know Eric Estrada, the actor who played Ponch in Chips, the cop, also. Anyway, shalom, brother.
Yeah. No, I did, and that was deliberate. I mean, I was aware that I definitely was sort of pausing meaningfully when I mentioned the name Eric Estrada. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Hey, David, this is just my opinion, but if you look into Donald Trump and all his deregulations and his trade bans like the USMCA, if you look into that and you look into the deregulations, and you'll figure out why and all that. In 2022, there was less recalls than any year before. There was only 32 recalls so far.
Okay, I don't know. I just can't comment meaningfully about that. Here's an epidemiologist who called in.
Hi, David. This is longtime listener John from New York City. I just wanted to say thank you for the work you do every day. I'm an epidemiologist and a chief analytics officer at a large healthcare system for the underserved in New York, and watching your shows got me through the horrors of the height of COVID and the Trump administration. I especially appreciate your value of truth and accuracy of language. I just wanted to say thank you for shining a light on the hypocrisy and brazen criminality of the previous administration. And I'll see you on Trouth Central. Bye.
Trouth Central, absolutely. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. Yeah, no question about it. Okay, very, very good. Important stuff coming in there. Thanks to Emily Siegel and the Stoning Band for the YouTube subscriptions. Donald Trump is now 18 minutes late, expected absolutely any moment. I mean, he's 20 minutes late, which isn't that bad, but he also hasn't started speaking yet. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Walker doesn't have to have a functional brain to get Republican Party support. He just has to do and vote as he's told, and he's their guy. Yeah, more or less. I mean, I don't think that's unique to Walker, to Herschel Walker, by the way. Welcome to Enigma Gray, the latest Twitch Prime subscriber. You are number 52. I very much... Yeah, right. Trump was 2.5 hours late yesterday. 20 minutes is absolutely nothing. I mean, it's nothing at all. Nothing at all. Is there a funnier coupon code I could offer? You know what? Let me look at the old coupon codes just to see if we can revive one. I'll put a funnier coupon code up there. I don't even remember. We just let a lot of the coupon codes remain active. Let's see what we can find. I think there were some pretty funny ones in the early days of coupon codes. I'm probably going to remind myself of some of them. Let's see here. Coupons. Let's see what old coupon codes we have. Oh boy, there are a lot of them here. Man, that's actually difficult. Oh, because the gifting generates a bunch of coupon codes. Oh man. All right, let me see here. Let's go to see if I can do this. What's a funny coupon code? There's a Jenga coupon code from when we were playing Jenga on the show. Golf related. Turtle time. Does anybody have any idea what turtle time as a coupon code was about? I don't even remember that. Does it relate to Mitch McConnell? Does anybody have any memory of when we used the code turtle time? It was related to McConnell. Okay, here's Trump, the Trump supporter with another question. One question, if I may. What promise '(S) have the Dems made and fulfilled? After 60 years, why is it Democrat states never flourish? Have you looked at economic data? If you rank states by income, it's all blue states at the top. If you rank states by education quality, it's all blue states at the top. If you rank states by access to healthcare, it's all blue states at the top. If you rank states by business environment, it's all blue states at the top. See, this is the problem. Where are you even getting that? It's the blue states that overwhelmingly subsidize the red states. A red state country. Oh, it's funny. People saying California doesn't flourish. California has an overwhelming share of all of the most profitable corporations. California has a surplus. Yes, California has poor people too. It's more populated than most countries in the world. And the reason California is so expensive is because there's so much demand to live there. I mean, this is like this is not crazy stuff, you know? Yes, there's homeless people. That's true. That's true. Man, that's like very, very dumb. I'm sorry. That's very, very dumb. Thank you to Black White Rook for the Twitch Prime subscription. You're number 53. I also want to say thanks to Kevin Combs and Annalise for gifting 2 subscriptions on my website. Your numbers 54 and 55 today. Do you know that meme where the kid starts asking a question and his words get jumbled and the smiles? That's Herschel Walker. I haven't seen that one. David, sir, good job on Herschel Walker. He was a dumb football player and hasn't gotten any brighter since. Blue states have carried red states for generations. Yeah, see, there's a lot of people who just don't know anything. And it makes it tough. It makes it really, really tough. Okay. Someone says, David, in all seriousness, your website is down and I can't sign up. I highly doubt that. Let me see here. Let me refresh. Guys, the website's working completely fine. Let me see. Turtle time. Yeah, it still works. Oh, wow, that's a good discount. I didn't even remember that one. Turtle time. I'm almost positive it has to do with Mitch McConnell. It must. It must have to do with Mitch McConnell. Okay. One other voicemail. Let's listen.
Did you know, Dave, this is Dave from California.
Yes.
That Abbott, Cruz, and Republicans have I give up attitude when it comes to gun control, because nothing they will do will stop mass shootings. They have a loser's attitude. They can't brainstorm this problem. They actually have given up. Let's give everybody guns, and sooner or later, somebody is going to shoot the mass shooter.
Oh, my God. All right, who's coming out now? It's all still pretty toxic. Oh, is this, I don't, honestly, guys, I don't know who the hell this is. My guess is this the woman running against Liz Cheney? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I have no clue. I genuinely have no idea who that is. She must be. I mean, I think ostensibly that's the point of this rally. Thank you to Julianne Vered for signing up at joinpacman.com. Julianne, you're new member number 56 today. We love your support and genuinely appreciate it. Also, thanks to Izzy Tonebone for the Twitch Prime subscription. Let's listen to another voicemail here.
Hi, David. I called in earlier, left a voicemail about how that commander didn't make that call. It was above him, and how they kill all police if they breached it. But
okay, all right. Seems like there was probably some confusion there. Hey, David, longtime watcher of the show and bonus show. I just wanted to ask, what's your favorite activity to do in New York? Just go to restaurants. Honestly, I barely do anything else. I walk around and go to restaurants. Is there, what am I going to do? Go to a movie theater? That's really dangerous, movie theaters. No, I don't know. I really don't do too much else. Eric Clark has signed up with the coupon code TurtleTime and is new member number 57 today. 57, which I very much appreciate. Yeah, well, let's listen to like a minute of this.
And my extended family is now raising our 6th generation in this state. As an attorney, I have been fighting the federal government and unelected bureaucrats for decades. I've been representing those people and businesses who put food on your table, gas in your car, a roof over your heads, and they pave your highways. I have been fighting for you and winning against the Environmental Protection Agency.
Here's this Trump supporter continuing to argue with me. You just made my point. No, I didn't. You said that blue states don't flourish. And I said, yes, they do. In every metric, blue states do better than red states. And now he says, thanks, California reports the highest income, yet it always raises taxes, yet housing issue, you make no sense. You don't understand anything, sir. With all due respect, you don't understand basic economics. You don't understand anything. I just don't even know how we can. This is sort of like what we were talking about with a number of different experts this week. You may be trolling. I don't know. But yeah. I was on holiday in New York in 2018. I don't recommend going to a baseball game at the height of summer. Go around autumn. Yeah, last time I was in Yankee Stadium, it was like 5 years ago. And I think it was May. And it was nice, but when it gets too hot, it's not really for me. Brianna Cochrane has just signed up at joinpacman.com and is new member number 59. Also, Brianna Cochrane has gifted a membership, and that's number 60, which I very much appreciate. Yeah, we're at Trump speaking any moment, and I don't think it's going to be great.
Wyoming's lone congressional seat from that Virginian who currently holds it. I have driven over 23,000 miles around Wyoming since I announced that I was running for Congress, and there has been one overriding theme that I have heard over and over and over again, and that is, we're fed up. We're fed up up with a federal government that doesn't seem to work for us anymore. We're fed up with out of control spending, and we're fed up with the radical Biden agenda.
What agenda is that again?
We're fed up with seeing young mothers and fathers who can't find baby formula for their newborns. We're fed up with $6 gasoline and $6 diesel. We're fed up with the shortage of fertilizer for our farmers and with the supply chain that has been broken by the incompetence of our federal agencies. In short, we're fed up with inflation and all of the related monetary policies that are threatening to turn the greatest country on earth into a third world failure.
Is this kid's presence here child abuse? Can anybody weigh in on that? Thanks to Elizabeth Stoffer, who just gifted a subscription at joinpacman.com and is new member number 61 today. I am not enjoying listening to this woman, I have to tell you. It's not enjoyable. David, sir, why is no one calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a rhino for not standing by her convictions in her testimony? Yeah, I mean, just they're not going to do that. It's a bit of a different situation. They don't see it that way, I think is the way they would say it. Let's see here.
Hey, David, I'm watching the Trump at NRA. A little bit disappointed for the first time. A little bit disappointed in your analysis, because you could see Trump is going from one teleprompter to the other, back and forth, and he's literally just reading. You could tell he did not write this. It's not his words.
Trump hasn't written any of his speeches. It's not a unique insight that Trump didn't write yesterday's speech. Trump doesn't write. Trump doesn't read. He hasn't read a book in his entire adult life. Of course someone else wrote the speech. That's not a big shock, I have to tell you. We've got a huge dump of memberships happening here. Stephen Norvell Jr. just signed up, and Camille Lutz just signed up. New members 62 and 63. I jokingly mentioned that we have this old coupon code Turtle Time that's still working, and I don't even remember what it's from. It might be from Mitch McConnell. It's like 2 years old. Anyway, I'll put it up here if people want to use it. I don't care what coupon code people use. It's fine with me. David, there is someone in the chat called Longshot Louie saying you are afraid of trolls. I recommend a hammer ban. Longshot. Let's see. Longshot Louie. Look at the groomed kids. None of the speeches. Longshot Louie doesn't seem to be saying anything inappropriate that I can see. No, I think Longshot Louie's okay right now. We'll keep an eye out on it, but I think it's okay. She's fed up, but didn't virtually all Republicans vote against cheaper gas and more safe formula? Yes, they did. They were all very, very much against it for strange, kind of weird reasons. Thanks to Blueberry Babe and Robert E. for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. I appreciate that. Also, big thank you to, I don't know how to pronounce this last name. It's Holly Dorges. I hope that that's correct. Thank you, Holly, for signing up on my website. You're new member number 66. It's starting to get a little dicey with some last names that I don't have a sense I'm correctly pronouncing them. More on Herschel Walker.
Hey, Mr. Packman, I have to call back.
This is Troy York.
The Herschel Walker video. I hate to make another call, but once again, your propaganda, you're full of lies. Herschel Walker doesn't have to answer some hit reporter's question.
No, he doesn't have to answer questions, but when he speaks, it's completely incoherent. He could not answer the questions in a way that's coherent. And I think that's the point that a lot of these people seem to be completely missing. Thanks to the Mob Father for the Twitch Prime subscription. Let's listen to a little bit more of Harriet Hageman.
We're fed up with the January 6th Commission and those people who think that they can gaslight us.
Get a slide?
We're fed up with those types of Republicans who work harder to deflect attention from the failures of the current administration than they work to protect us from it. And we're fed up with Liz Cheney.
Wow.
You deserve a representative who knows what it means to ride for the brand, someone who will fight for you and for Wyoming, someone who will fight for our constitutional republic, someone who will work tirelessly to roll back the explosion of bone-crushing regulations and diktats coming out of D.C.
Diktats. Jeez, that's aggressive. There's been like almost no meaningful change to regulation under Joe Biden. Is that a penis tattoo? Is that what that means? I don't know what that was about. I guess it can be pronounced that way. Wow. Dictate. They can be pronounced I guess diktat is valid. Is that possible? No. Oh, no, it's not. Hold on.
Dictate.
Yeah. Okay. It's not valid. It's not valid. No. Wow. That was really weird. That was a weird moment. Very, very strange. This PSA, don't ever offer to house sit. I broke so many things, I don't think I'm going to keep any money. All right, good advice. The flusher on my toilet broke. Now even flushing 10 to 15 times won't get rid of the documents. That's interesting. Neurodivergent Wooly has just signed up at joinpacman.com, which I very much appreciate. Via Twitch Prime. Thomas Cook signed up at joinpacman.com, and Sean Kenner just gifted a subscription at joinpacman.com. I really appreciate that. Puts us at 71. This woman is very unhinged.
Well, I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's an impressive list of what we're fed up about.
I think that you and I looked at each other about 50 times because we're both acknowledging with our eyes that we have never seen a crowd so fired up before.
Well, she went down, her speech, every line
One of the most simple speeches ever, too.
We're fed up with fill the blank. We're fed up with fill the blank.
Yeah. Very, 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 very rudimentary technique, but it certainly did seem to work on that crowd. I will concede that. I will concede that for sure.
Hey, David. Love your show. First time caller. Just calling in to say that this whole gun control debacle is giving me major nightmares for future things that may be even more important to human life, like climate control. And so I'm, not to spiral off too much, but I'm just having these almost flash forwards in the future to, when we're basically at the tipping point already. So when it gets to the point of, no hope, if we can't even get gun control past to save like children's lives, I don't know. Like the most recent climate.
Yeah, no, all of that stuff is very, very serious, and we do have to consider all of it. Trump running about 38 minutes late so far and expected any moment here. Okay, that PSA is still up. Thank you to Ruth Baker. Ruth just signed up at joinpacman.com and is new member number 72 today. Do you think Trump has diktats? Asks NH Barracks. I don't know, but that was a bizarre moment of that previous speech. I've never seen anything like it. Salty Sylvester has just signed up via Twitch, or rather gifted a Twitch subscription, which I appreciate. Yeah, no, I'm noticing a lot of people's emotional state, understandably, is not great right now. And it makes sense given everything that's going on. I totally get it. I totally get it. A lot of exasperation, I would say, in everybody I've been talking to lately involved with the show, without a question.
You looked at the men out there, they're little beta boys, like little soft boys. I don't want that.
And we will ban men.
To this woke culture, to this globalism idea, this one world order, and clearly...
This channel is nuts, huh? Newsmax is also covering it. Is this George Papadopoulos? Is that who this is?
And obviously waiting for that. And unbiased, do you think that, a D.C. jury, are you optimistic that they will look at this evidence and they will judge carefully, or do you think that they are completely tainted?
Unfortunately, 96% of D.C. residents voted Democrat in the past election, and the Durham team was unable to...
George, got to leave it there. Great to have you, as always. I'm sorry, as you know the drill, Saturday night, and here we want to listen and watch as President Donald Trump takes the stage here in Casper, Wyoming.
Oh, God. 40 minutes late, Donald Trump has indeed appeared. He is pumping his fists and throwing hats around. Recommendations for dictat artists. I don't know any. Thanks to Matt Kinney for signing up at joinpacman.com. Your new member number 74 today, and I really do appreciate that. David, would love to see an interview with someone who can talk about the IPCC report from a few months ago, 700 million displaced people in Africa by the end of the decade. All right, we will look into that. She's calling men beta boys as the Village People plays. There is no parodying these people. Well said. Yeah, we will see what Trump has for us today. Our Wyoming roads are so simple. Maybe they made a wrong turn and they headed to Waltman, Wyoming. Right. That absolutely could have happened, but it does seem that they finally made it. It's almost satirical that Queens-born Trump plays this song at his rallies. It really is. Welcome to Kevin Williams. Kevin just signed up at joinpacman.com and his new member number 75. We really may get to 100 today. It's completely plausible that it could happen. It is something else. Look at this. Trump's eyes are looking a little bit less swollen than usual. Like the right eye is pretty open today. Oftentimes it's completely swollen shut. There's an artist named Wanksy who did Trump's dictat. Quite skilled, actually. Man.
Thank you very much. What a group. Swami Vive Kamunand Suchin Tendolkar. Thank you very much, Wyoming, and I'm thrilled to be back in this majestic state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, and you are hardworking, aren't you? In 2020, we won Wyoming by the largest margin of any state in the nation, red or blue. This is MAGA country. In fact, they gave us a new name. They made a little mistake with this one. This is Ultra MAGA country.
Whoa.
Even better. Over the next 6 months, the people of Wyoming are going to vote to dump your rhino Congresswoman Liz. Cheney. And you're going to send the incredible Harriet Hageman to Congress, and together we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all.
Dumps.
Crazy Nancy, she is crazy.
Big, massive dumps.
And please remember that Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and Biden and all of these Democrats are totally against Wyoming and your great source of wealth, the liquid gold right under your feet. It's called energy. And they will turn you very rapidly into a very poor state if you don't do something. So you have to do something. I let it go. We really were swinging in Wyoming. We were swinging like never before. They want to close you down. So remember that when you walk into that booth. Right, Harriet? They're going to remember. And Harriet's the exact opposite.
By the way, Wyoming's already 19th by income in the United States. And even that's only as high as it is because for tax purposes, there's a bunch of really rich people that, quote, live in Wyoming.
And communists, right away. Look, the press hates to say that. How could you say that? Look, you got a lot of press back there. Got a lot of press. Why are there so many? Why, oh, why are there so many? Every one of them is there. Fake news, every one of them. But
only right-wing media cover these events.
In many ways, worse than the terrible Democrats are the backstabbing rhino Republicans who are helping them do their act. And there is no rhino in America who has thrown in her lot with the radical left more than Liz Cheney. Terrible. She has gone crazy. Now I get it. I've been hearing all these stories for years now.
She's crazy. She's essentially a Trumpist who voted 90% with Trump, but she does think Trump genuinely lost.
And in their speeches, they say Republican Liz Cheney, and then they go with the worst statements ever, and it gives them little credibility, but people aren't buying the act based on the polls. She's way down. She's at a level that nobody's seen yet. So we'll see what happens. Get out and vote. Don't let those Democrats vote for you. Don't let them vote. You know, you got a crazy system here. You know what that means, right? Don't let the Democrats do what they did in another state last week. Don't let them do it because the Democrats get in. By the way, Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, we just had a great primary victory today. A nicely endorsed candidate. You know that?
No mention of David Perdue.
And Herschel Walker. Right.
Herschel Walker, who can barely speak.
We swept. This is just as last week, 33-0 in Texas. We swept Arkansas. In fact, we have a great new governor going to take place very soon in Arkansas, right? We know who that is, right? Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's great. And we're sweeping everything.
Globalish.
And we actually did great in Georgia.
No,
Look
you
at those
didn't.
races, all the congressmen and congresspeople. We swept everything. So a couple of little problems we had with a lot of people voting. And you have to be very, very careful.
It was a big problem. People voted and it caused Trump a major problem.
Democrats to vote in a Republican primary. You know, the governor was very nice. He met me at the plane, but I said, Governor, you shouldn't allow Democrats to vote in a Republican primary. He was very, very nice.
Kemp didn't beat Perdue because of Democrats voting in that primary. It was a blowout.
I'd rather have Democrats not voting in the Republican primary. I don't need hats. I don't need the hat. Wyoming thought you were electing a conservative warrior, but instead you got a lapdog for Pelosi and a human soundbite machine for CNN and MSDNC.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Liz Cheney hates the voters of the Republican Party, and she has for longer than you would know. Wyoming deserves a congresswoman who stands up for you and your values, not one who spends all of her time putting you down, going after your president in the most vicious way.
Your president?
Loving endless, nonsensical, bloody, horrible wars that never end. They just never end. The Cheneys are diehard globalists and warmongers who have been plunging us into new conflicts for decades, spilling American blood and spending American treasure all over the world. The Cheneys, along with George Bush, didn't even have the courage to pardon Scooter Libby. He was their big protector. You know, he protected George Bush very badly. He could have been in big trouble, and so could Cheney. And they didn't do it. You know who did it? I did it. I gave him a pardon.
That's something to cheer about?
Scooter Libby, right? I gave Scooter Libby a pardon. They couldn't do it. They wouldn't do it, or they couldn't do it. And I thought it was a terrible thing. But I gave Scooter Libby because Scooter Libby got screwed, okay? And I didn't do it for them. I did it because I thought it was the right thing to do. And frankly, George Bush.
The crowd really identifies with Trump pardoning of elites.
They didn't like. That's why Liz Cheney voted no on bringing our troops back home from Syria, where they didn't even want to have us. I mean, it's so crazy. We go to countries that don't even want us, and we just go there. It's almost like we do it by habit. We do it by habit, but we lose people. It costs very much money, but we lose people, which is much more important and much worse. And that's why Liz Cheney now is at the front of the parade trying to get us to go into wars with Russia or anyone else that wants to bite.
Anyone.
And you see that, and you see it all over, and you see it over and over, the stupidity of these people. And you know, when I was there, we were respected. Nobody was going to war with us.
That's very much untrue.
Nobody. We didn't have to go to war for people to know that we were the toughest and we were the strongest. We did it in a much different way. She's the face of the Washington swamp and the same failed foreign policy of the Clintons, Bushes, the Obamas, the Bidens, and the entire sick political establishment. I think she looks good. She looks nice. But Liz Cheney is about America last. She's weak on border security. By the way, very weak on border security. And as House Conference Chair, she sent every Republican member of Congress talking points on amnesty ripped word for word from the...
Anybody know if this kid's okay right here? Very, very strange behavior from this guy.
Representative who will put America first and who's looking to make America great again.
Oh, Trump pointing at that kid now. Wow. Did you see it? Trump just pointed at that one kid.
Look at all these people down here, all these press people, you know. You saw the ratings after the election, their ratings died. They want us back so badly. They want us. I actually thought they were going to endorse me, every one of them.
Is there anyone more self-centered?
History have personally caused more damage and destruction to our republic than the thinking, ridiculous and stupid thinking of Liz Cheney. She's aided and abetted the radical Democrat Party in one of the most unhinged, lawless, and dangerous witch hunts of all time, the Unselect Committee on January 6th. Unselect Committee. And I see these guys, and they're up just like they did Russia, 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 same group. Now they're talking, insurrection. They don't mention what they did to Portland and burning down federal courthouses and all of the things. But this is the same group, Adam, Shifty Schiff. He stands up. This is a terrible thing for our nation. Same exact words. And that turned out to be a hoax, and I have to congratulate Mr. Durham. That turned out to be a total hoax.
Nobody has any idea what's going on.
I wish he did it before the election. It would have been nice, but you know what? We got 12 million more votes this time than we got last time. We did much better the second time than we did the first time. But I still wish they did it before the election. Right. But as one of the nation's leading proponents of the insurrection hoax, Liz Cheney has pushed a grotesquely false, fabricated, and hysterical...
Well, I didn't realize he was calling the insurrection a hoax. Is that new?
Which has become the pretext for the most chilling assault on your civil liberties in generations. Look what they're doing to these people. Look what they're doing to these people. And yet Antifa and BLM, they can do whatever the hell they want. They can steal money and live in $6 billion mansions, and nobody does a damn thing. They can kill people, and nobody does anything. And they've killed plenty.
Who has Black Lives Matter killed or Antifa? That I actually don't know about.
Destruction that they've caused, and nobody does a thing about it. And now you look at the so-called word insurrection, January 6th. What a lot of crap. What a lot of crap. And most of this country knows it. And you know who else knows it? The Democrats. It's another con job, just like Russia, Russia, Russia. This was made up by Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. A total fake story. And they have another fake story coming. It's the and many others. I mean, don't forget, I've been investigated more than Billy the Kid, Jesse James, and the great legendary mobster, Alphonse Capone. Did anyone ever hear
I've
that?
had more investigations than Jesse James.
If you add them all
Billy
up
the
and
Kid.
double them and triple them, I've taken the cake for investigations. A friend of mine said, you know, this has been going on for years. You must be the most...
This is a lie because Trump doesn't have friends.
It's been going on for years. It's true. But because of what Liz Cheney did, that's why she was thrown out of the House Republican leadership, which is just about a first. It's why she was censured by the Republican National Committee, which is something that virtually never happens. It's why she was censured by the Wyoming GOP. I love the Wyoming GOP. And we have Frank here. I'll introduce him, but I'm very proud of Frank. And it's why in 2 months from now, the people of Wyoming are going to tell her, Liz, you're fired. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Throw him the hell out of here. Throw him the hell out of here.
You're fired. Get the hell out of here. Liz Cheney has helped the radical Democrat Party weaponize the national security state and law enforcement against MAGA and MAGA supporters who are hardworking, incredible people. They try and... He's going, ultra MAGA, please. Remember Hillary with that little speech she made where she brought up a word, right? Remember the word? And who would have ever thought, right? Who would have ever thought that word was going to go down in infamy? She said a few words that we won't repeat because we have a whole new narrative, right?
What?
The phony narrative that Liz Cheney is pushing has been the radical left's pretext for their all-out war on free speech. The persecution of the January 6th political prisoners, you know, you still have a lot of them in jail. How many people from Antifa are still in jail? How many people from Black Lives Matter are still in jail? How many people that have killed people are still in jail? The Democrat crusade to gut election integrity is something that nobody has ever seen anything like it in this country. Wyoming, all of America is counting on you. So important. You become, we all know how great a state you are, how beautiful you are, but you've become, politically speaking, you're at the top of the list. You have
Right.
we have a lot of elections coming up for senators and for governors.
Anybody have any idea what this is about?
Important election that we have right here, state of Wyoming.
Nobody knows? Okay.
And you're going to have it from within. You're going to get hit from within like you've never been hit because they want to win it. And I hate to say this, Harriet, but they want to win it because they want to hurt Trump. So at least you can feel good about yourself. They want to hurt Trump. That's all they care about. You know? When you win over 100 races and all they want to talk about is one race, which was relatively unimportant compared to some, that's all they want to talk about. I said, will they ever talk about the great evening? So all they want to do is that, but you're strong, and you know, she's one of the greatest lawyers, and I got to witness her speaking just a few minutes ago, and man, you're good, Harriet. Nobody's going to take you
Come on up here, please.
But we need you to vote that crazy rhino, and that's what she's become beyond anybody's expectation, out of office. We've got to get her out of office. And beyond one vote, you know, this is a symbol. It's much more important than one vote. This is a symbol. You got to win. You got to win. Otherwise, it's going to be a terrible thing for our country. And it's not just the one vote, because I think the Republicans are going to have a tremendous midterm, especially in the House. Especially in the House.
We'll see.
So it's not.
It's looking as bad as it has in the last year for Republicans. It's still not looking terrible, but it's not looking nearly as good as it was.
With Liz Cheney's support, the Unselect Committee has turned the United States House of Representatives into an instrument of political torment and repression. You know that. You see that every night. And people come out of the witness booth and they'll say, the worst of all the people, and you have some really bad people up there as Democrats, the worst person of all was Liz Cheney. These are people like you. These are people that represent our interest. At the same time, she's helping to completely cover up and do numbers on the disturbing questions and videos. So you take a look at what they're doing.
Who was picking their nose? I didn't notice that.
Videos, not just every time they give us a certain video from a certain little, we want the real videos. We want to really know what happened. And more importantly, we want to know what the hell happened to the election itself, which is the reason they were down there. Cheney and the Unselect Committee are also totally ignoring the very real concerns about Capitol security failures. And why, as an example, Nancy Pelosi rejected 10,000 National Guard troops or soldiers, and I strongly recommend it. And the fakers back here never...
Remember, Trump resisted allowing in the National Guard on January 6th for hours.
But, you know, we recommended, the Secretary of Defense through me, but we recommended 10,000, and some people said 10,000 plus, but you didn't need 10,000. You needed 500 or 1,000. But recommended 10,000 because I felt, this is on January 3rd, I felt that the crowd was going to be massive. Everybody was saying we're going to be there. I believe it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken before. Anybody that was there would say the same thing. They never want to show that crowd. They never want to talk about that.
It was bigger than the Million Man March. He's bragging about the crowd that ultimately went to the Capitol and committed hundreds of crimes, if not thousands.
In my opinion, before a crowd that big, and nobody wants to talk about it from the fake news media. Despite having pushed every anti-Republican fake news conspiracy theory under the sun, from the Russia bounties. Remember the Russian bounties? Remember that? That turned out to be a fake. That was another hoax. Then you had the double impeachment hoax, a perfect phone call. Remember? It's a perfect call. Remember they called the president of Ukraine, and they asked him, Mr. President, what did you think? He did nothing wrong. What are you talking about? That's why I like him. That's why I like him. But he did nothing wrong, he said. They were devastated. They didn't want to put that out. With that being said, by the way, that war should have never, ever happened. It would have never happened under me. And there can be no winners. There can be no winners. That country is being blown to pieces. People are being killed at a level that nobody's ever seen. None of us have ever seen anything like it. And it's a terrible thing, and you're not going to have any winners. It's something they ought to get back to the table. That would have never happened. It should have never, ever happened. Should have never, ever, ever happened. And it would have never happened. Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd from NBC was interviewing the Secretary of State, and he said to him, let me ask you a question. How come this never happened? By the way, and I really respect Chuck for saying this, but he said, why did this never happen under the Trump administration, right? Remember, under Bush, they lost Georgia. I'm not talking about our Georgia that we love so much. I'm talking about a different Georgia, a country. Under Bush, they lost Georgia. And then under Obama, they lost Crimea, right?
Obama.
And under Biden, they lost everything, everything. And under Trump, they lost nothing, nothing. They lost nothing. They lost nothing under Trump. Same thing with China. Do you notice they have these...
Wasn't there like a major occupation of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions under Trump?
And I had a talk with President Xi of China. I had a talk with President Putin, Russia. And I said, you can't do it. It was almost the same answer. I said, we're going to hit you very hard if you do it. And both of them said, why, really? And you know, I'm not sure they believed me, but they sort of believed me. They didn't have to believe me full. If they believed me 5%, that was enough, right? Right, Harriet? All they had to do. But I will tell you, it was zero chance. And zero chance of China. Let's see what China does. I mean, the only thing that's keeping China out is they see how poorly Russia's doing. But Russia now has a different tactic. They stay way far away, and they just keep lobbing missiles and missiles and missiles into these cities and these poor people that are being decimated. And you're going to end up with nothing. Going to end up with nothing. That whole country is being obliterated, and you'll end up with millions of lives. And you may end up with a third world war, by the way. Okay? You may end up with a third world war because of the stupidity of what we're saying and what we're doing. And we want to help the people because what's happening to them, they're being...
Crowd seems very bored.
We could end up in a third world war because of the way we're going about it. And I never thought that would be possible. And a third world war would be like no other war, because a third world war, we have weaponry right now. I completely rebuilt the United States military, and in rebuilding it, we also rebuilt, renovated, and brand new nuclear weapons. And I hated to do it because I saw the power. I know the power better than anybody. I know the power. And we are in a position that I never thought we'd be in. We have a major country. Every day he mentions nuclear, nuclear, nuclear. And China's doing things that they would have never done with us. We're in a position now, I don't think our country has ever been in a worse position, in a weaker position, a more pathetic position. And a lot of it starts...
You know, I can think of many times that we have.
From Afghanistan.
Second Iraq War. Vietnam. Ring a bell?
In political history, which is now finally being proven in court. Crooked Hillary Clinton and the Democrats spied on my campaign, and they spied on my White House. They spied on me when I was in the Oval Office. Could you imagine if a Republican got caught spying on President Biden? Wouldn't be too exciting.
Biden.
Spying on Obama, spying on Clinton. Could you imagine you're spying on President Obama, right? You're spying on President Obama from the outside and you get caught. I think it would be, at a minimum, the rest of your life in the Who's Gal, and maybe stronger than that. And they don't even talk about it. We caught them spying on our campaign. We have it, absolute proof.
None of that is true. I hope people know.
Remember a long time ago when Twitter was good, now it's going down the tubes, by the way.
When he was on it, it was good.
Right? We want Trump. Ready? Truth Social. Truth Social. Truth. Oh, their heads are spinning. That one's doing so well. Essential. Truth. Everybody Essential. Get off Twitter and go Truth Social. You did good. I did too. Mine was enforced, but they want me back. For the media, they want me back so badly. And I'm not going back because we have truth. We have truth on our side. That's the way I look at it. We have truth on our side. Get off Twitter. But you remember, I put out like this tweet, I think it was like on a Saturday morning, and I saw something on television, and I said, I believe Obama spied on my campaign. Okay. Now, I didn't think it was that big a deal. You know, you put it out, hey, Obama. 3 minutes later, I get a call, like my phone goes crazy. Sir, did you just say that President Obama spied in your campaign? What's the big deal? Sir, the wires are burning up. I said, really? After Kofefe, it was the single biggest tweet I ever did. Kofefe was bigger, but after Kofefe, which was world's #1, it was the biggest tweet I ever did, and I thought it was just going to be like routine. You know, I'm throwing it out, but that's what I thought. That's
just
what I heard.
Just a routine Kofefe.
And you know why it was such a big deal?
Because it was idiotic.
We caught them, and they realized that we caught them, and it became a monster.
We need Kofefe on the soundboard.
And in the end, it may be years later, but now it's turned out to be true. They spied on our campaign. And just remember, if a Republican did it, it would be perhaps the death penalty, right?
Yeah, there you go.
It's a
if Biden tweeted Kofefe, they would execute him.
You know, we hit a nerve. Let's put it that way. We seriously hit a nerve. I kept saying, I can't believe this is such. I was getting calls, sir, this thing is blowing up. The machines were on fire. Hillary Clinton's former campaign manager, real beauty, Robbie Mook, recently testified that the Russia hoax, this is 2.5 years of crap.
Wow.
2.5 years we all went through. And we put our country in danger, just so you know. Was conducted with the knowledge and approval of crooked Hillary Clinton herself. She's guilty as you can be. Now, the real question now is whether Durham will have the courage, and I hope he does, to expose the corruption of the Mueller witch hunt and the Hillary Clinton disaster with all of the stuff that they released. The whole thing was a hoax. And think of it, they knew it was a hoax, and they went 2.5 years. The country spent $48 million or so. They had FBI agents all over the place. They had 18 angry Democrats as prosecutors. This went on for years. And yet, think of it this way, because I have to brag. With all of that going on, I'm under investigation on a phony situation. People said...
This is delusional. I'm probably going to bail. I doubt I'm covering this entire speech the way it's going. It also started 45 minutes late. Let's just see how far we can get.
Have anything to do with Russia? No, not at all. I thought it was a very innocent question, right? Then a month later, they'd come up, Harriet. I needed you as my lawyer. They said, sir, did you have anything to do with Russia? Young kid would come up. I said, no, why are they asking this question about Russia? What the hell do I have to do with Russia? And about 4 or 5 times more, they come up, and then after about the 5th time, an innocent young man, sir, hi, sir. Sir, do you know anything about Russia? And I said,
this is one of the worst I've ever seen.
What is going on with Russia? So they created a fake story. And I didn't take it seriously because I knew there was nothing to it. we've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, because it's fake. And 2.5 years later, I was right. After we went through hell. And despite going through hell, we did more than perhaps any, but just about more than any president in the history of our country. Thank you. And you went through it with us. I mean, you went through it. A lot of people were affected, and a lot of people believed it. A lot of people believed it. You know, they keep hearing it every day. It started off as a statement by somebody about, I remember one situation where they asked Robbie Mook, little Robbie. Hi, Robbie, how you doing? And do you think this was Russia? You know what I think it was? That terrible, terrible reporter who got thrown over to CNN, Chris Wallace, who always wanted to be Mike, but he didn't have the talent.
Ooh.
Chris Wallace, he wanted to be Mike. You know, Mike did me on 60 Minutes. And Mike was a killer, but he gave me a great piece. And 60 Minutes, years.
Mike did me on 60 Minutes by giving me a great piece. Jeez.
I think, as I remember it, Chris Wallace asked Robbie Mook a question. Does Trump have anything to do with Russia? And Robbie Mook was like, you know, John Lovett's The Liar. Remember when Saturday Night used to be good? It is so pathetic now. It's so bad. But remember, John Lovett.
There's like fractally branching topics here.
Man, that's right. I'm a businessman. Oh, that's right. I went to the Wharton School of Finance. That's right. I went to the Wharton School. Yeah, I'm a great success. Remember John Lovett's The Liar? This was Robbie Mook. He said about Russia. And Robbie Mook goes, yeah, Russia. Russia. And I'm telling you, I was watching this.
All right, guys, I'm bailing out. I just can't do any more of this. This is one of the worst ever. And it's going absolutely nowhere. I think we get it. The crowd's unhinged. Trump's unhinged. This is just it. I think we're going to just put an end to it right now. Appreciate you joining me. I think our brains will rot if we continue. If you want to keep watching it, watch it on Newsmax, watch it on Right Side Broadcasting. But I think I'm going to bail out for my own mental health. Okay, yeah, we're hemorrhaging viewers already. So listen, do yourselves a favor. Do anything other than watching this. Okay, it's too toxic at this point in time. We'll see everybody very soon. We've got a lot going on next week. Have a great Memorial Day. Okay. Yeah, I know. People are thanking me. You could have asked for a mercy ban as well if you needed one. But it's too obscene and stupid. Exactly. All right. Everybody have a good night. See you soon.